Oh, hi there everybody, welcome to the channel on the block. And if you've seen my last video I just uploaded, you guys know that I was in a dueling network tournament recently and I managed to get first place, and I thought I'd give you guys my first place deck profile. And sorry that this isn't like a regional event or anything, but I don't really go to regionals very often, and this was more like a very small local-sized tournament, only like 14 people. But I thought I'd tell you guys a little bit about it anyway, just see if you guys like it, because this is the little channel on the block. This is not a place you really go to see big top tournaments, first place deck profiles, top 8s. For that you'd need to go to Vexicus or MCO40, someone who does the big coverage. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm subscribed to both of those people. I have like crazy respect for both of those people, so I suggest you guys go and subscribe to them. I'll have links to their channels in the description box below. It's like, but without further ado, I'll tell you guys about my time in the tournament. Round 1, you know, every now and then on Dueling Network you get with douchebags on here. I'm sure you've all ran into one or two Dueling Network douchebags. Either way, round 1, I totally beat the guy. It was an Evilswarm male match. I love the male match, but it was an Evilswarm male match. And the only problem we really had in round 1 was that I used Thunderbird's effect in game 2. And when I brought it back to the field, he used Trench Tribute, and you can't do that because it does not get resummoned, it just returns to the field. So that was kind of the only dispute we had throughout the whole tournament. And then round 2, it was another male match for me actually. And I just 2-0'd that guy super easily with my favorite side deck card, Morphing Jaw 2, but that card is getting a video of its own, dedicated in its honor, because that card is my favorite card. It's like in the top 10 favorite cards in the world. So it's getting its own video sometime here soon, explaining how its effect works, because a lot of people get its effect wrong, and that card's amazing. So again, in the finals, I actually got to skip round 3, so I didn't get to see what that guy played. He logged out before finishing the tournament, so I automatically got bumped up to the finals, and we don't know what that guy played. So, but third place was the Firefist player. I mentioned that in the last video, I think, but he was a cool dude. So he ended up getting third by default, and I ended up going to the finals by default and winning. But that one I actually won the last game. It was really fun. I did a lot of really neat plays with Forbidden Dress, because I would have Ophion on the field and he would summon Thunderjoy, target it for setback row, which would be the Forbidden Dress, and I would chain the dress, target the Ophion so he can't target it, and then he can't attack over it because it's 50 points stronger. And it was, that won me the game, I think, for game 1. And then game 2 I lost. He drew into all of his best side deck cards he had, and then game 3 I drew into this, and just, it's like I had first turn Bahamut, and I had this, and I just took his Doxum Rogue, and I just like tributed it off, and he only had a Debris Dragon, and you always saw his back row try and stop me, but I had a Pandemic, so I was fine. And then he just had 2 cards in his hand, and it was Debris Dragon and Upstart Gold Ninja, and it got rid of both of them, and he was all out of cards, so I just won the last round. But the deck profile is pretty standard for the monster lineup, I think. I just played 3 Heliotrope, 3 Caster, 3 Calcleon, 3 Mandro. I don't think too many people play 3, but I like 3 because it gives you a lot more options, and plus, I never have a target for Bahamut. That's why I only play one Bahamut. I play 3 Thunderbird because this is one of my favorite cards. If you don't have an XZ option, this card can win you games on its own. It's like grind match all day. 2 Kage Kokage. I always bounce between 2 and 3. I was playing 3. I normally side Kage out for Morphing Jaw. It's kind of my thing. I kind of like switch those 2 out. 1 less you of it because it's at 1. Although after playing at 1, I probably wouldn't play at 2, but I think I could do it and use it with the same Heliotropes multiple times. I can recycle those guys pretty easily. One Alert of Darkness. Draw 2, pretty basic. 1 Dark Hole, just kind of like staples. Pretty much the only powerhouse card we have left. 3 Forbidden Dress. Now the thing is with this is Dragon's got a new toy. It's like this night guy, and a little annoying because you can just like change its effect to anything you would do to get rid of it. So you just use this in the damage step and attack over it. And it's pretty epic that way. Just kind of get rid of that thing. Then you play 3 Pandemics. A lot of people don't like 3 Pandemics. A lot of people will argue with these 9 cards I play. It's like these 9 cards I play, people will argue with the 3 Dress and the 3 Pandemic and the 3 Mystical Space Typhoon. A lot of people say that is too much, but I like it this way, and it's just the way I play it. It's like I always want to have Pandemic because it protects your plays. It's like I use Pandemic like Infinity use Infinity Barrier, which I used to play Infinity, so I know how that works. But back when Infinity was in that prime, Trishula, launchers, the whole work, synchros, way before black cards were ever there. And then I just finished the deck off with 1 Reinforcements of the Army. Trap cards, I played Bottomless Trap Hole, Compass, 1 Infections, 3 Save Zones. Now a lot of people argue with the 3 Save Zones and the 3 Forbidden Dresses. Although I get my ass chewed by my opponents a lot because I have, it's like, this is like the Trojan condoms of Yu-Gi-Oh decks. All joking aside, that is like, it's crazy amount of protection, and I play offensive traps. I kind of wanted to test a offensive play with like Metamorphosis and Dimension of Prisons, but it never really worked out for me. I always found them a little too slow for my taste, and it's like, if my opponent has a monster on the board and they get greedy, they MST my safe zone, I just change safe zone, they MST it, they lose that monster, they essentially go -1, and I like it that way. Or I can just do this if the Master Key Beat don't have a lockdown. Pretty much wrecks Darkwoods and Fire Kings and a lot of other decks, and it's hard to get rid of. Fire Fist has to go into that 1xZ play to get over it. And then the rest of it's kind of like staples like Solemn Warning, Torrential Tribute, and I main deck 1 Fanity's Emptiness for stuff like Agents, and like, yeah, this deck has a great Dragon matchup because you have Ophion, but like, there's a lot of smaller decks that special summon smaller monsters that don't level 5 that Ophion can't stop, and this just shuts them down. Like, this just it. And yeah, that kind of wraps up the reasons why Fanity's Emptiness is a good card. And I play 1xZ with Bone because it's like a monster bone for all your best boss monsters. You know, it's kind of XZ oriented deck. And now, like I said, this card's getting a video of its own, but I'll briefly talk about what happened in the event that really made this card the MVP of the whole thing. Was I made my opponent in this game round 2 Evilswarm mirror match. I made my opponent. He went first turn. He summoned a Heliotrope. Set 2 end turn. It was my turn. I had this. I had a easy Ophion play because I had a Caster, I had Heliotrope, I had Thunderbird, I had Kokage, and I had Morphing Jaw, and I had Torrential. And I just set the Torrential, set the Morphing Jaw, and turn. Didn't worry about doing any of the XZ shenanigans because it's like Morphing Jaw was that good. And he summons the Thunder King, has the Heliotrope and the Thunder King, attacks, with Thunder King, flipping the Morphing Jaw, doing the damage step, so he can't chain to Morphing Jaw's effect with like his Divine Laughs or anything of those sort of things, or his breakthrough skills. He can't do that. And he had to mill. First, you guys, those monsters shuffled back into his deck, so he didn't have Thunder King to shut me down anymore. And he milled a Compulse and all 3 Fiendish Chains in a row. And then he got 2 monsters. So he went -4. And he lost to Thunder King. So technically that's like a -5. He's got a Kukreon and he got another Heliotrope, but they were face down in defense mode and I just attacked over them. It was that easy. It's like, that's why this card is so great. It's like, Cyberjaw is banned. You know why? It destroys all the cards and then you draw. This card can potentially only hurt your opponent and not hurt you. Because if your opponent's playing spellbooks, and look at the last spellbook deck that topped Legionnaires, it's got 3rd place on Vex. Vexicus has a deck profile up, I'll leave a link to it. If you guys look at it, that guy is only playing like 11 monsters. And you activate, you get a Morphing Jaw off, if they attack into it with a Kaiku, and you get a Morphing Jaw off, they can't chain Fate because it's in the damage step. And yeah, Morphing Jaw just like mills a good chunk of the deck, and they takes away most of the powerhouse cards, because most of the cards are spells or traps, and it just wrecks them. So this is like good in spellbooks, and Infinities is a great card to side Infinities because they can't use the Infinity barriers to negate and damage step, and it's just an all-around amazing card. So I recommend you guys do try it. Like I said though, I would do a complete video on it alone later. Then I play 1 Thunder King, kind of helps in the spellbook matchups, and like sometimes I side in Dense Dragons, and any deck that really adds a lot. Gravekeepers, hate Gravekeepers. I said this in for Gravekeepers because they always have the Stardust Dragons and stuff to special summon as long as they have a field spell, and that's annoying. Dimension Fissure for any graveyard based decks, plus Blackwings. They can't use Karut, and that wins you the games because Karut just attacks over everything. So using the Karut to attack over everything makes you lose. So this just stops that shit from happening. 2XE Zone Code for the mirror match. Constella's Anywhere Heavy XZ deck, and 2 deck Devastation Viruses. And this card wrecks windups, agents, any weak deck really, even Infinities. If you get rid of all the weak Infinities and all they have left are Archfiends and the Dark Laffas, not too much to play off them. Spellbooks, any other thing that seems like it's playing on a lot of back row, just call traps, win. Darkwoods call spells, win, because they are out all the discard outlets. Darkwoods, Darkwoods, Momaz, Blackwings are pretty much all these 2 cards going for. And Dragons, I usually use against Dragons. Yes, they get the ad, but the deck now revolves around the Dragon Ravine, sending cards to the graveyard to have targets. And then 2 Malevolent Catastrophes for any heavy back row, any graveyard oriented plus dragons. And this is just kind of like in case I really need it against windups or something, shut them down. Side deck, actually deck pretty standard. 1 Abyss Dweller, 1 Gygasso Emerald, 1 Bahamut, 1, like I said, I think this one's called Evilswarm, I'm not sure. 1 Nightmare. I only play 2 Ophions, I think that's all I need, because a lot of times I only use it to add the Pandemics. 1 Ouroboros because it is Evilswarm, 1 Phantos, 1 Gemknight Pearl, 1 Arknight is Arknight now I look at, 1 Black Shipper Cone, 1 Master Keybeater, 1 Crazy Box, and 1 Piper Operative. And that's coming up to my 15-minute mark, so I'm just going to talk it 1 at a time. The event was good for me, and like I said, I'm a big fan of Vexicus and MK40, so I'm going to leave links to both of them in the description. and probably Cyberknight 86102. He's kind of my